I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum, the ward of KoKo. In pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
Why, who are you who ask this question?
I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long through every passion ranging, and to your humors changing, I tune my sorrow song. I tune my sorrow song. Are you insensate whilst I'm with you? Oh, song. My patriotic ballad cut and ride, for ere a country's banner may be planted, all other local banners are defied. Our warriors and cerements of Peccadillo, never will I see the things they do. I shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops and troops of Pitti. We shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble with the long before the mighty troops and troops of Pitti. And if you call for a song in the sea, we'll leave the capstan run. With the yo-heave-ho for the wind is free, the anchors are trip and our hands are lean. Hurrah for the homeward bound. Yo-ho, heave-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound. To lay aloft in a howling breeze may tickle a landsman's case, but the happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town with Nanki on his knees. Yo-ho! And his arm around her waist. A wandering minstrel I think of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby, and dreamy
And what may be your business with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Thiroux town band. It was my duty to take the cap round for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian, KoKo, a cheap tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Judge of my delight, when I heard a month ago that KoKo was condemned to death for flirting, I hurried back in the hope of finding Yum Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that KoKo was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner. Under the following remarkable circumstances, great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby a man might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted with or winked, unless connubially linked, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 should forthwith be beheaded. And I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And then all is right as right can be. Right as right can be. This stern decree you'll understand caused great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who winked a roving eye or breathed an non-connubial sigh was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected, objected, objected. He usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object. And I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct. And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct. And everything is quite correct. All is quite correct. And so we straight set out on bail, a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be blown off, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated, could not cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I'm right, and you are right, and all is right, and away. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right, and away. And you are right, and we are right, and all is
KoKo, the chief tailor, Lord High Executioner of Thiroux. Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the illustrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled the two offices into one. So now every judge is his own executioner.
But how good of you, for I see you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all of this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive individual of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal primordial atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it, I was born sneering. But I work hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. Why, when all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them, you did.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, and Lord Chamberlain, and Chief of Police, and Lord High Admiral, and Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Backstairs, Archbishop of Thiroux, Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one. And at a salary, a poobah paid for his services. I, a salary minion. But I do it. It revolts me. but I do it.
And it does you credit.
And I don't stop there. I go and dine with middle-class people for reasonable rates. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I will accept refreshment at any hand, however lowly. And I retail state secrets for a very low figure. In fact, any further information about Yum Yum comes under the head of a state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one. Young man spare, likewise go true, Yum Yum the fair. You must not woo, it will not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect evolutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend her way and homeward come, with beat of drum and a rum-tum-tum to wed the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash, and the trumpets break, and the cart will dash on the wedding day. She'll toddle away as all of her, with the Lord High Executioner.
It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place away I'd flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They'll vow their pact extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with that buffoon at 7 commences, so you shall know.
And the brass will crash, and the trumpets break, and the cart will dash on the wedding day. She'll toddle away as all of her, with the Lord High Executioner.
And have I journeyed for a month or nearly to learn that Yum Yum, whom I love so dearly, this day's KoKo is to be united.
The facts appear to be as you've recited.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, and my own recognized answer, wafted by a favoring gale, has been sometimes easy in trances to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a male under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale that may rank with most romances, taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, surely
trust that by firm attention to duty, I shall ensure the continuance of those favors which will ever be my duty to deserve. Yes, indeed. Should I ever be called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that I shall have no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. If ever it should happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, and they never would be missed. There's those pestilential nuisances who write for autographs, and people who have flabby hands and irritating laughs, and children who are up in dates and floor you with them flat, and people who want shaking hands, take hands with you like that, and all third persons who on spoiling tete-a-tetes insist, they'd none of them be missed,
He's got 'em on the list, and they'll none of them be missed,
There's the bathtub serenader whose bad voice fills up the place, the electric organist, I've got him on the list, all people who eat peppermint and puff it in your face. They never would be missed. There's the idiot who praises an enthusiastic tone, all centuries but this and every country but his own. The lady from the provinces who dresses like a guy, who doesn't think she dances but would rather like to try. And that singular anomaly, the romance novelist, I don't think she'd be missed. I'm sure she'd not be missed.
He's got her on the list, and I don't think she'll be missed. I'm sure she'll not be missed.
There's that nicey priceless nuisance that's at present rather rife, the right-wing journalist. I've got him on the list. All funny men, comedians, and clowns of private life. They never would be missed. And accommodating statesmen of the compromising kind. Like Thingamy-Bob and whatchamacallit, and oh well, never mind. And tut-tut-tut and what's her name, and well, you know who. As for filling in the blanks, I'd rather leave that up to you. For it doesn't really matter which you put upon the list. They'd none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list, and they'll none of them be missed.
Pooh, it seems that the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely and want to consult you as to the amount that I ought to spend upon them.
In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasury, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, Private Secretary?
Suppose we say private secretary.
As your private secretary, I should say, since the city will have to pay for us, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it, that is your advice.
As private secretary. Of course, you'll understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that the due economy is observed.
Oh, but you said just now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
Private Secretary.
But now you say due economy must be observed.
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. I'm over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
As your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying, chance it.
Thank you, I will.
If it were not that as Lord Chief Justice, I must see that the law is not violated.
I see. I'm over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now, as First Lord of the Treasury...
As First Lord of the Treasury, I could prepare a special vote that would cover all expenses. Were it not that as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to fight it tooth and nail. Or, as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that as a Lord Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. Of course, then, as Archbishop of Thiroux, it would be my duty to condemn my dishonesty and give myself over into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
That's extremely awkward.
I don't say that all these honorable people couldn't be squared, but it is right to tell you that they will not be significantly diminished in their estimation if they are not insulted with a particularly large bribe.
The matter shall have my careful consideration. Ah, but my bride and her sisters approach, and any little compliment on your part, like an abject grovel and a characteristically Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
On the Marine
I have the misfortune to love your ward Yum-Yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty hair, nice eyes. Take the little thing altogether. Very glad to hear my opinion backed by competent authority. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Go away, kid. You bother me.
I beg your pardon, but what's this? Customer come to try on?
That is a tremendous swell.
Go away, little girls. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away now. There's dears.
Allow me to present you, Pooh Bob. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bridal act.
What would you have me do to them? Mind you, I will not kiss them.
No, you shan't kiss them. A little bow, a mere nothing. Yeah. You needn't mean it, you know.
Oh, it goes against the grain. They're not young ladies, they're young persons.
Come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it.
How do you do, little girl?
Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor.
That's very good.
I see nothing to laugh at. It pains me to have to say,
How do you do, Wyle? How do you do?
to young persons. I am not in the habit of saying,
How do you do, girls? How do you do?
to anybody under the rank of stockbroker.
Now, don't laugh at him. He can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We know how delicate it is, don't we?
I should say we did. How a nobleman of your importance can do it all is something I never can, never shall understand.
So please we much regret if we have failed in etiquette. To one's men rank so high, we shall know better by and by. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, so pardon us. And don't you girls have you spring, be hard on us, if we're inclined to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la. Like of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, and don't be girls must have its spring, be hard on us. Of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, tra-la-la-la-la-la.
I think you ought to recollect you cannot show too much respect towards the highly tactile few, but nobody does, so why should you? That youth on us should have its fling is hard on us, so hard on us. If we decline to dance and sing, please pardon us, please pardon us. If we decline to dance and sing, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Boys must have its wings so hard in us, and don't dear girls must have its wings be hard on us. Boys must have its wings so hard in us. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la,
At last we are alone. I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian had been beheaded, and I find you're about to be married to him this afternoon?
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him?
Alas, no.
Mortified rapture. But why do you not refuse him?
But what good would that do? He is my guardian, and he would never let me marry you.
But I would wait until you were of age.
But you forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50.
True. From 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside of tea houses is hardly the fitting husband for the ward of a Lord High Executioner.
But shall I tell her? Yes, she will not betray me. What if it should prove that, after all, I am no musician?
There. I was certain of it directly I heard you play.
What if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
The son son of the Mikado! But why is your highness disguised? And what has your highness done? And will your highness promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability to expressions of affection and claimed me under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night, I fled his court, and, assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band where you found me when I had the happiness of seeing you.
If you please, your highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone, and no one can see us.
That doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
If it were not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should now be sitting side by side, like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off. Like that.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes, like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love.
With our arms round each other's waists, like that.
As it is, we can do nothing of the kind.
Oh, not for worlds.
Being engaged to KoKo, you know.
Being engaged to KoKo.